I'm Tracy Weatherby, and I wanted to go into now our impact model. What is an impact model? An impact model should describe what are the impacts that you hope to achieve, what target population are you trying to affect, how are you planning to achieve those impacts. In some ways, it's an operational plan for your mission. It may not be the only operational plan you ever have for your mission, but it's the one that you're choosing to pursue now. It's the way you think you're going to accomplish your mission in the nearer to longer term, but maybe not forever. I wanted to give you some examples of some of the impacts that funders look for. This is from a report that was published by the Rockefeller Foundation. They were looking at impact investing and the kinds of things that they saw a lot of different funds and funders looking to affect. What you'll find is if you talk to different investors, different funders, they often have different focuses. There are very few that do all of these things. So you also need to really look at your impact model and align it to the people you think might actually support it. So some examples might be in agriculture. They're looking for environmentally and socially sustainable agricultural production, increases in food systems, improvement and increases in food system. In financial services, they might be looking for financial inclusion for marginalized people or for small businesses. In health, it might be expanded access to basic, low-cost preventative and treatment services, and particularly usually in poor and rural populations. Another example might be water, access to safe drinking water and sanitation, particularly for the poor. It might also be water conservation. A couple of examples from our alumni. Solar Sister worked with us a number of years ago. Their impact model is pretty clear, and you can tell that a few sentences can get to the heart of a business, and sometimes the pictures really help as well. Solar Sister eradicates energy poverty by empowering women with economic opportunity. We combine the breakthrough potential of solar and clean cooking technology with deliberately woman-centered direct sales network to bring light, hope, and opportunity to even the most remote communities in rural Africa. I think that's very clear. They're doing two things, and the one thing you would not necessarily know from this is what is primary. Is it the energy poverty? Is it the economic opportunity? And you might be able to put a couple of things in yours. I wouldn't put more than two. But you should be clear with yourself, if there are times when there are trade-offs, which one is primary for you? What comes first? From what I know about Solar Sister, I would guess that it's the economic opportunity that would come first. They care a great deal about energy poverty, but I think if there were trade-offs to be made, it would probably be centered around helping women with economic opportunity. Conv Youth is another of our alums. They were here just a couple of years ago. They work with learners from township-based secondary schools in South Africa to help them improve their grades, access quality post-school opportunities, and return to help others do the same. Once again, I think the pictures really help give the story about what they're doing, and that last piece of their impact model is really important, and return to help others do the same. In some ways, that's kind of their secret sauce, and that's a really important part of their impact and their sustainability. They want people to get to college, and then they want them to come back and help others. Clinica del Azucar is a set of clinics that help people with diabetes in Mexico. And their impact statement is, with a comprehensive redesign of the care processes, use of cutting-edge technology, sophisticated payment methods, and creation of one-stop shops, we reduce the annual cost of care for diabetes from $1,000 a year to only $200. So you can tell that their impact model is based primarily on kind of technology, automation, and throughput to make good quality care more affordable. EcoFuel is another one of our alumni from last year. And this one is a little less complete. You still get some nice pictures. Their impact statement is agricultural waste to affordable clean cooking fuel for low-income households in Uganda. What I would say about this one is it does give you an idea of what they do. It doesn't give you a tremendous sense of the priority of those. If you were trying to trade off and figure out how to better run the business and you were trying to stay focused on the right impacts, is the main impact they want to have converting agricultural waste? Is it affordable clean cooking fuel? You know, what is the exact piece that is most important to them in there? I wanted to just talk for a moment about theory of change. People will often talk about theory of change kind of interchangeably with impact model, but In reality, it isn't actually exactly the same thing. Theory of change is a really specific methodology for planning, participation, and evaluation that's used in philanthropy, not-for-profit, and government sectors. With theory of change, you define long-term goals and then you map everything backwards. You have lots of linkages, you have outcomes pathways. It's a very complex and detailed process. But the truth is, when most people ask you about your theory of change, what they mean is, what's your impact model? How are you going to make this work? So in most cases, you can give them a fairly short answer without having to get into the technicalities. For deliverable 3.2, we'd like you to look at your impact model description in your business plan deck. Take a look at it, work with your mentors, ensure that your impact is well described and easy to understand, and don't forget that photos and graphics can help people better understand your business and your impact. And then after you've had a look at it, update it if necessary. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to call. I'd be delighted to work with you or serve as a sounding board.